Alright, so hopefully we can finish up here with our 1.1 examples. I want to try to get this parentheses all by itself. So in order to get this parentheses all by itself, let me first get rid of this 2. So I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides. So when I do that, the 2's cancel out. I still have the 5 times x minus 4 to the 6th, and that equals 320. So I need to get this parentheses by itself. To get the parentheses by itself, I need to divide both sides by a 5. So when I do that, x minus 4 to the 6th, 320 divided by 5 is 64. And now, just like before, I need to get rid of this 6th power. So it's the opposite to get rid of them, and that's like saying the reciprocal. The reciprocal of the 6th power is the 1/6 power, or the 6th root. So take the 6th root on both sides. This cancels out. And the 6th root, because this is even, because it's an even root, you get plus or minus. You got to keep that in mind. If this is the cube root or the 5th root or the 7th root and it was odd, you'd only get one answer. But because this is the 6th root, you get 2 answers, plus and a minus. Okay, so I have x minus 4 equals plus or minus 2. So I add 4 to both sides, and you actually end up with x equals 4 plus or minus 2. Well, it's not hard to solve that. 4 plus 2 is 6. And 4 minus 2 is 2, so my answers are 6 and 2 as my answer choices. To solve this one, I need to get rid of this parentheses here, so it's all about taking the reciprocals. So to get rid of 3 over 2, I need to take it to the 2/3 on both sides to get rid of it. And it looks like I have this backwards here, so hold on 1 second. Alright, so I fixed this up now. When you do the reciprocal, it would be to the the 2/3 on both sides. So it's 64 to the 2/3, because this cancels out, because remember, you gotta do the reciprocal. So you can rewrite this as 64 to the 1/3 squared, and the reason why I did a third is because I can do 64 to the third in my head. Can you think of a number 3 straight times that will give you 64, and that number happens to be a 4. So it's really like saying 3x minus 1 equals 4 squared, and 4 squared is 16. So to solve, I add 1 on both sides, so I get a 3x equals 17. And it's 3 times x, so to get x by itself, I divide by 3. And that leaves me with 17 over 3 as my answer. So to get rid of this, to get rid of that, I need to get x by itself, so I'm going to divide by a 3 on both sides. 75 divided by 3, so I get x to the negative 2/3 equals 25. Okay, so once again, you got to multiply by the reciprocal, so that'll be negative 3 over 2 and negative 3 over 2, so that cancels out, leaving me with an x. 25 to the negative 3 over 2. I'm going to rewrite that as 1 over 25 to the 3 over 2. Now, still got a fraction, so how does that help me? Here's how it helps me, because I can rewrite this as 25 to the half, if I wanted to, or 25 to the third, to the half, either or, and I get 125. You could have done 25 to the half, which would have been 5. 5 cubed is 125, and either way you'll get 1 over 25 as your answer. You could have also just did 25 caret sign negative 3 divided by 2 in parentheses there, and that would have still given you 1 over 25. And with this one, I need to get this parentheses all by itself, so I'm going to minus this 1 to get rid of it. So I have x minus 2 to the 2/5 equals a 4. And then remember, with these weird fractions here, I need to multiply by the reciprocal, so it's to the 5/2. So that's gone, leaving me with x minus 2 equals 4 to the 5/2. I can rewrite that as 4 to the half, and the reason why I would choose 4 to the half is because what's the square root of 4? It's just 2. And 2 to the 5th is like saying 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 32. So really, it's like saying, what's x minus 2 equals 32? Well, I would add 2 to both sides, and x equals 34 is my answer. So, if you have any other further questions, there was a ton of examples there, as well as the examples from section 1.1. I hope that was a huge help of a ton of different types of examples that you might run into. in this chapter, in this section. If you have any other questions or concerns, please, please, please let me know.